Hello friends, welcome back to this episode on fear, where we would be looking at the need for validation, where it is coming from. Hope you had a chance to look back at your lives where you might have found some of the fears that you had in your life. The fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, many other fears, a fear of change. So any of these particular fears, whatever you have, most of them has a base of sense of rejection. And this sense of rejection has a base as a need for validation. Where is this need for validation coming from? Anybody in anyone's life, the need for validation comes when you're a child. Have you seen those small little advertisements for the powders or the diapers? So the kid takes a couple of steps, looks at mama and gives a beautiful smile. And mom is so very happy about it, right? You all remember that? Why is that the kid looking at the mom, telling the mom that, look, I've taken a couple of steps, and do you validate it? Do you like it? There it starts. And from there, it slowly starts crystallizing, solidifies, where the parent starts telling the kids that, you do this, I love you. If you don't do this, I'll be very unhappy. So that's where we kind of introduce the carrots and sticks. Or you do this, then you get a chocolate. You don't do this, then there's no chocolate for you. So the kids start making parents priority number one. They don't know what priority number one or priority number two is. And obviously parents would laugh or do everything, be it they're giving carrots or they're giving sticks. They do it because they want the best for the kids. So we're not trying to find fault here. The behavior of making somebody important in their life than themselves start at that age. They need validation at every step from the parents. And then you go to school, and again in the school you have teachers who are again behaving the same way, continuing the brought up that's coming from the house. Again, the carrots and sticks are always there with the teachers. And the kids would obviously look up to their teachers for validation, for everything that they do or they don't do it. In this process, we need to look at two things. One, the moment the I thing starts within us, we start looking for validation from others. That's point number one. Point number two is, when you start looking for validation, you are abandoning yourself and making somebody else as priority number one. So they go hand in hand. The moment you are not making yourself priority number one or making somebody else priority number one, then you're abandoning yourself. Then you're rejecting yourself. So we might have rejected ourselves so many times, in many ways, in so many situations. And we are consistently looking for validation from outside of us. Unless and until somebody from outside of us comes and tells us that, oh yeah, you did a great job, we don't believe that we did a great job. So when you're making somebody else important or priority one in your life, then what you do is you sacrifice your life. You sacrifice many things in your life for somebody else. Be it your education. You want to do sciences, but your parents wanted you to do engineering. Maybe you wanted to become an artist, but your parents pushed you into law. Anything. If you have sacrificed your requirements, your needs, your happiness for somebody else, then what you're doing is you're abandoning yourself. So this is a vicious circle about abandoning yourself and looking for validation. It's a continuous cycle. It's a vicious cycle that happens in most of our lives. So till the time you keep sacrificing your life for somebody else, you keep looking for validation. When people stop validating you or your actions or your behaviors, then you will feel sad. You will feel disappointed. You feel as if you are a failure because you failed to make others happy. You failed in your life because nobody else is validating. There is no question of you validating yourself because you have abandoned yourself long back. You're disconnected from yourself long ago. So finally, you end up feeling so very bad that you sacrificed, and this sacrifice is not recognized or validated by anybody. Does it ring bells in the back of your mind? Look back at your own lives. How many times we have abandoned ourselves? How many times we looked for a validation from outside of ourselves? We keep looking for validation outside of ourselves till the time we don't start embracing ourselves. We don't start accepting ourselves. Till the time we don't stop rejecting ourselves. Start today to look at yourself. Start accepting yourself as the most important and unique person on this earth. Stop sacrificing your life for others. Stop making somebody else a priority number one. Instead, start making yourself priority number one. Do what you love doing. Look into all the fears that you have if people around you stop validating you. Straight into the face of these fears. On the other side of the fear is the life, the beautiful life which you dreamt of having, which you love to have. The moment you start looking into these fears and get over these fears, you are for sure going to reach out to that part of life which is much more beautiful, much more happier, and much more peaceful. If you like this video, the content of this video, and if this content would really help your friends and family, feel free to share them. Help all your friends and family who would require help at this level. In the next video, we will look at how to address these fears, what all we have in our life. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead, and thank you for watching this video.